separates these teams is the ability to go on the road and win.
You know, you talk about that you kind of learned that in year one. What was the biggest, like, well, welcome to the SEC moment that you remember from last season?
Well, I think it started at an early stage in terms of recruiting. You know, this is an unforgiving league,
right.
And it's extremely competitive no matter what you're doing, whether it's practice, whether it's recruiting, or whether it's competition in terms of game day. But I think just the overall daily grind of an SEC season. You know, every team has great coaches, great players. The competitive structure and dynamics in this conference is truly special.
You win 5 games. We'll all remember the difficult fumble. I know Pig Howard, that's got to stick with him a little bit too in the Georgia game. You win that game and everything else plays out the same. You're in a bowl game. But what are the positives you bring from last year into this year with this team?
Well, there's many positive experiences. First of all, the standard, the expectations, the foundation is in place. Yeah. Our players understand how we're going to play winning football and the standards and expectations which we just spoke about. But the challenge for us is, you know, usually, you know, everyone's optimistic, which rightfully so. Everyone's 0-0, and what makes college football different is each team replace about a 30-year roster. At Tennessee, we have just a little less than half, which are new players, but it's also it's exciting. There's a lot of positive energy and momentum right now at Tennessee.
It's one fact about you guys and who you've lost that I did not realize before yesterday. The only team in the entire country in the FBS subdivision, about over 120 teams, that doesn't have a single returning starter on either line, Butch, is Tennessee. How do you begin to overcome that?
Well, it's going to be a great challenge, but also it's a tremendous opportunity, and that's what makes college football exciting. Is every year it's new opportunities for individuals. And I know our offensive and defensive lines of players, you know, that we have in our program, they're excited about it. But also it's a great selling recruiting. Is, you know, you're going to have an opportunity to come to Tennessee and play early and play right away. But like I said, the influx of young talent has really helped us, and our older players have done a great job of mentoring, but we're going to have to jump the learning curve in a hurry.
I don't remember going into an SEC football season where there are as many teams that don't have an absolute lock on a starting quarterback at this point. And, I mean, you guys appear to be one of them with Josh Dobbs, very athletic, Justin Worley, who's a senior. Where do you sit on that battle right now, and how soon would you like to have somebody? I know you'd probably like to have somebody now, but realistically, what are you thinking?
Well, we have a great competition at quarterback, and you mentioned Justin Worley, you mentioned Josh Dobbs, and then Nate Peterman. And the great thing is all 3 of them have live game experience and playing in meaningful games early in the season. So we're excited about that. I think all 3 have really elevated their play, and I think the addition of the support around them in terms of on the perimeter, a wide receiver, at tight end, and at running back will also increase their level of play. So I really think quarterback is actually going to be a strength of this year's football team.
Philosophically, do you say to yourself 2 weeks from the opener, I got to have somebody? I mean, or could we go into the week of the opener? Could we go to the day of the opener before we know who will step under center for the first play?
Well, I don't think you really put a time frame on that. You let it happen naturally. And I've said it is as soon as somebody kind of exerts themselves and takes ownership and kind of distances themselves, then we'll name them the starting quarterback at the University of Tennessee. And as you know, it's a prideful position.
Right.
And not only are you representing the University of Tennessee, you're representing Peyton Manning, you're representing Vol Nation, the entire state of Tennessee. So there's a lot on that individual's shoulders. But all 3 are very, very capable of being starting quarterback in the SEC and winning football games.
You know, you go through this, you look at these teams, and all the teams in this league schedule, and Mike's live, you know, he talks about it often. The 8-game schedule, that's grueling enough. You guys go to Oklahoma early. That's probably going to be a top 5 team. Utah State at home to open it. That's a difficult team because of the experience they have at quarterback. That's your first game on a Sunday. How do you describe them, that matchup, and how do you describe the schedule that you're looking at outside of the already difficult SEC?
Well, our young players are going to get to know Chucky Keaton, the quarterback at Utah State, very quickly, and they have our attention. They're a great, great football team. Their players expect to win. They've gone into big venues and have won and have played well, so they have our attention. But Arkansas State is a team that is used to winning, and our first 3 opponents are bowl champions. And then obviously they have to go into Norman and play a great, great Oklahoma football team, well coached with Coach Stoops. So it's unforgiving. It's going to be a great challenge, but also many great opportunities as well.
We didn't mean to put that on the TV in front of you there. As you had to look
All
at
right,
that
I
in the
have to
face.
leave. I have to go back to work.
Yeah, Georgia, Florida after that. One more real quick here before we do let you go back to work, because you still have it. You got to make your way to the podium in a little bit. Expectations at a place like Tennessee, they're always high. Fan bases sometimes can get a little bit unrealistic. What do you tell your fan base is where you think we should be this year? Where is Tennessee football right now?
Well, our fan base has been exceptional, and it's a pride of who we are, and best fans in the country, and it's an honor and a privilege to be their head football coach. We have to focus on the process. We just have to be a better football team day in and day out. And we talk about the power of one unity of purpose, one common commitment, taking it one day at a time, one practice at a time, one snap at a time, just because we are going to be so youthful. But I think they can see the progress that we're making, and if we just continue to focus on that process and work to get better each and every day, we're going to like where this football team ends up.
One more real quick. As you walk into the living rooms of these kids that you recruit, and you've done well so far, no question about that, what is the way that these young men, 17-year-old men, look at the University of Tennessee? What's the perception of the football program, and how is it changing?
Well, the University of Tennessee is a national brand, and what a great opportunity for a student athlete to come in here and make an impact. We want individuals that have that onus on their shoulders, that want that opportunity, that right to put Tennessee football back to its rightful place among the elite of college football. And as you know, everything in life is timing, and Tennessee is the right place at the right time, and as you know, it's only a matter of time.
There it is. Butch Jones, head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers. Coach, we appreciate you stopping by with us before you make your way out to the masses.
As always, great visiting with you.
I thank